Hi, this is Michael Blum. Join me on Tuesday evenings from 8 to 10 p.m. for The Michael Blum Show, where we talk about the things you don't want to talk about. We talk about sex. We talk about politics. We talk substance abuse and spirituality. So think, speak, and be heard. Call us at 800-699-0980 and join us on The Michael Blum Show. Hi, this is Dr. Michael Blum. I just moved my practice down the block to my new office at JJ Dental, just 4 blocks south of my old office. I chose JJ Dental because it's a 5-star rated practice. That's why you should choose them too. Call 954-463-7262 and ask for an appointment with me, Dr. Blum, or any other of the fine dentists at JJ Dental, creating beautiful, healthy smiles that last a lifetime. Call 954-463-7262 and visit us online at jjdentalpractice.com.
This is Steve Kane with Dr. Jonathan Cook from JJ Dental. Jonathan, I was just blown away by the reviews that your patients left online.
Yeah, sure. My website and Yelp, Google Places, Facebook, you name it. There's plenty of places to go to find 5-star reviews and read what our patients are saying about us.
You heard Dr. Cook. Go online, read his reviews. You'll be blown away too. And then call for an appointment, 954-463-7262 or online at jjdentalpractice.com.
Hi. At the Michael Blum Show, we talk about the things you don't want to talk about. If in your own personal life you have an experience or an event or something that's changed you, we'd love to hear about it and maybe get your story on air. Feel free to give us a call, 800-699-0980. Again, that's at 800-699-0980. Or feel free to email me at michael@blumradio.com. That's Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, at blumradio, B-L-U-M radio.com. And we will get in touch with you and put your story on the air.
This is Steve Kane, and I'm here with Dr. Jonathan Cook from JJ Dental. Jonathan, what are some of your most popular services that you perform over at JJ Dental?
Well, I would say cosmetic dentistry is number one. That's our major focus. But one of the beautiful things about our practice is there's nothing that we don't do under our roof. The days of patients bouncing around town to find different specialists are over, and there's nothing that we can't do at our office. So, we have specialists that come into our office to provide the patients with the proper services. So aside from cosmetic dentistry, we also have endodontics. We do root canals, implants, veneers, crowns, bridges, Invisalign. You name it, there's not much that we don't do.
For all your dental needs, call Dr. Jonathan Cook at JJ Dental. Phone number 954-463-7262. And online at jjdentalpractice.com.
Hi, this is Michael Blum. Join me on Tuesday evenings from 8 to 10 p.m. for The Michael Blum Show, where we talk about the things you don't want to talk about. We talk about sex. We talk about politics. We talk substance abuse and spirituality. So think, speak, and be heard. Call us at 800-699-0980 and join us on The Michael Blum Show. Hi, this is Dr. Michael Blum. I just moved my practice down the block to my new office at JJ Dental, just 4 blocks south of my old office. I chose JJ Dental because it's a 5-star rated practice. That's why you should choose them too. Call 954-463-7262 and ask for an appointment with me, Dr. Blum, or any other of the fine dentists at JJ Dental, creating beautiful, healthy smiles that last a lifetime. Call 954-463-7262 and visit us online at jjdentalpractice.com.
This is Steve Kane with Dr. Jonathan Cook from JJ Dental. Jonathan, I was just blown away by the reviews that your patients left online.
Yeah, sure. My website and Yelp, Google Places, Facebook, you name it. There's plenty of places to go to find 5-star reviews and read what our patients are saying about us.
You heard Dr. Cook. Go online, read his reviews. You'll be blown away too. And then call for an appointment, 954-463-7262 or online at jjdentalpractice.com.
Tune I wrote in the 70s called Freezer Fresh. Music is a wonderful thing, isn't it? It's really amazing. I love music. For those that don't know, my background is in music. I'm either considered to be rather eclectic or rather schizophrenic. I guess it depends on which way you want to look at things. But I have a background in music. I have a degree in education. So it's, like I said, eclectic or schizophrenic, depending on how you want to look at it. And that's pretty much it. That's it. So let's go ahead and continue now. We're going to be doing a little bit of our usual stuff. I called the show Are You Happy? And also it was called The Apocalypse du Jour. I get very, very bored, and I was quite honest with our last guest, with Jonathan Robinson, about politics. You know, there is nothing more depressing, I think, today, in today's day and age, is listening to the news. I mean, first of all, 90% of the news isn't news, okay? And basically, if you don't listen to the news, then you are not informed. But unfortunately, if you listen to the news, then you're just misinformed. And it runs the gamut all over the place. And, the other title for the show today is Apocalypse du Jour, because the world is going to end, you see, according to the liberals and the Democrats, every single week for some other reason. I mean, I start to lose track of them. I mean, well, right now it's that Trump didn't yell at Putin, go, you're a bad man. We hate you folks. We can't stand you. I mean, I don't know why you would think that would be it. But if you think that, that he was going there, Trump, to go ahead and raise his hands and yell and scream at you and point a finger in your face, I think you're missing the fact and the point. And that's how it is here with media in the United States, which is an anti-Trump media. And if Trump had done that, I don't think there would be more negatives involved with him yelling and screaming at Putin. A couple of things would happen. But there would be more yelling and screaming at Putin, and that wouldn't get to anywhere in anything. Now, what do we have in common? What do we want to do? Well, Russia is not the Soviet Union. So their military is not what it used to be, and lots of things in that country are not what they used to be. Putin is a nasty guy. You know, he's a mean, nasty guy. I mean, there's no question about it. Former KGB. I mean, he's been looking into not only our elections for many, many years, but our educational system, all sorts of ways. Any way to go ahead and subvert is his way. You know, so I think that that Trump basically didn't want to shut any doors with this guy, and I think a public yell or scream at him would have also made the media wouldn't have been happy with that either. The media is never happy with anything Donald Trump will do because they can't be. That's their thing. That's their only stock in trade right now is hate. If it was some other president, trust me, this would not be happening. It's ridiculous, you know. I mean, do any people actually remember this video? I mean, this is kind of telling. This is a different president, but listen to this.
My last election. Yeah. After my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah. Okay. I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and Alexander.
So, after my next election, I'll have more flexibility. I understand this. I will go ahead and transmit this message to Vlad. I stand with you. So, what do you think he meant? Give me a call if you'd like to talk about this, by the way. 800-699-0980. Again, 800-699-0980. What flexibility? The flexibility was, you know, and very often if no one's going to call me up, I'll just answer the question anyway because the answers are very simple. He intended on removing more of our nuclear arsenal, which would make Putin very, very happy. So he wanted President Medvedev, who was, I think, an interim acting president there, to make sure that Vlad got the message that after he was elected for his second term, that Obama would be very, very, very open to and have much more flexibility in dealing with things in general. You know, but I hear these people yelling and screaming about all sorts of nonsense. I swear to God, I think that if Trump had developed a cure for cancer, what the media would say the next day is that Trump ruins medical practices in America. Doctors are now leaving the profession. You know, if health, and that would be the thrust of it. It would have nothing to do with anything good because it cannot be. You see, he's a terrible individual. He hates people. He hates everybody. He hates women. He hates black people. I mean, forget about what's actually happening. This is just the BS of the left, and it's getting worse and worse because they have really nothing else going for them. I mean, you know, I think they'll have a hard time electing anybody. That party really does need to change. But what do you think he meant? You know, more flexibility, okay? All those people screaming that are so horrified about the Russians tapping into our voting system, and it's disgraceful, and they're going to go ahead and take votes away, and they're going to tip the scales. Are these people, do they give a shit about voter IDs? I mean, a voter ID would be something that, you know, if you don't have it, you can't vote. I mean, you know, that's kind of would solve the problem. No, no, they're not interested in solving problems. They're interested in getting rid of Trump. Because they're so hurt that their psychopathic, lying, horrible candidate and her serial rapist husband aren't in the White House right now. You know, you'd think from how they're yelling and screaming about things that Trump gave up the nuclear codes for the United States, or, you know, it's just something unbelievable. Now, you know, Russia is a really, really bad country. You know, I understand that. They're involved with a lot of stuff that's no good. They're murderous. But, you know, we're pretty chummy with China, aren't we now? And that's probably the largest, most evil remaining communist country in the world. You know, the only difference really between what Trump did and the media's reaction and what anyone else, any other president would have done, as long as they're Democrats, and their immediate reaction is basically the media just has a profound distaste for him, and they don't like him. So that's what goes on. So all of this crap is very, very predictable. I mean, you know, last week it was Kavanaugh. I mean, you know, suggesting or nominating a judge for the Supreme Court, and it was net neutrality. The world was going to end, and then when Trump just became president, that was the end of everything. He's going to screw up Korea, and people are going to get blown up. He's going to start World War III. You name it. These jerks have just gone on and on and on and on about nonsense and BS and falsehoods. I mean, that's just how they are. So it's pretty predictable to me that no matter what Trump is going to do, no matter what he is going to say, no matter someone is going to twist it in the leftist media and make it a horrific, horrible thing that we're all going to suffer from. He's going to kill the children. He's going to throw Granny off the cliff in a wheelchair. We'll all be starving. This is all bullshit and nonsense, and it's the political book of the left, basically. You know, and let's face it. Most of the people who really like Trump, they don't expect political theater. They want a president to actually do something, and they want you know, you can win one battle today and lose a couple tomorrow, whatever, and you can go ahead and take care of things. Now, you know, the other thing is that the FBI has been so weaponized against Trump. Can you imagine if he said some of the things, actually said some of the things that the media was suggesting? If he was very strong about tampering with the elections, the media would come back and say, you see, Trump was colluding with the Russians. He certainly was. I mean, look at that. He mentioned it. He mentioned about the elections. Better off he did what he did. Better off for the good of the world, the country, and screw the politics with that. Because anything he would have said in denunciation of the Russian meddling would have been instantly, virally blasted around the universe as a confession that his election indeed was illegitimate. All the jerks would conflate everything, and basically Trump wants people to realize that he won this election fair and square. And the reason he is there is because people in the United States want him to be there. That's the reason he's there. That's the reason he was elected, and that's the reason that everything kind of is going how it's going at the moment. But people seem to forget all sorts of stuff. I mean, we did have a past president who handled things differently, you know? I mean, that was Obama, who, unfortunately, folks, I think is probably the worst president, certainly in my lifetime, if not forever. I just find him to be anti-white in his heart, self-serving, narcissistic, horrific with foreign policy, horrific with domestic policy. People love him because he's the first black elected official, and I understand that, and I think it's a great thing. You know, I mean, people, I'm surely thought, as I did, if they voted for him, which I never did, but people have always said, good, now we live in a post-racial United States. Well, that worked out pretty well now, didn't it? Such a great influence to everything there. And he handled things differently. So let's see how Obama, if you don't remember, this is how he handled the Russian situation, and which, by the way, Trump made a big deal about. And we'll talk about
in early September when I saw President Putin in China. I felt that the most effective way to ensure that didn't happen was to talk to him directly and tell him to cut it out. And there were going to be some serious consequences if he didn't.
And there you go. Cut it out. This is what you tell the leader of the KGB. Just cut it out. That's how I handle this problem with the elections. You know, just cut it out. I think he was also seriously thinking of canceling his Book of the Month Club. But I guess that would have been too harsh for him also. But, of course, Trump, you know, that wouldn't make any difference what he does. It's the wrong thing no matter what. And, you know, Trump, rightfully so, I think slammed Obama for doing nothing. I mean, if this is such a big deal, why didn't you do something about it? You know, and again, this is a question I can throw out and give you the answer to. The reason nothing was done is because they were so in love with themselves and thought that they would win no matter what, that they didn't care that the election system was being potentially ruined or spied upon or hacked upon. I mean, you know, they thought Hillary's going to win, so why should we make an issue about it? Then her presidency would be tainted. Oh, but wait. Let's get the FBI and high officials in the government involved with this, and we can turn that table around and make it germane to Donald Trump. You know, we can ruin his election should that ever happen, which I doubt it'll ever be. You know, he won in a landslide if you're looking at electoral votes. And the Electoral College, from what I understand, is skewed to the Democratic side. But It made no difference, because when you run a horrific candidate that stands for nothing, says nothing, disappears, falls on her face, just lies outright, I mean, sometimes people don't like people like that. And God forbid if, as he would put it, crooked Hillary, if she won the election, forget it. It would be unbelievable. So all of a sudden, Trump gets elected, and now this becomes such a big deal, such a big deal. And as Trump tweeted, he said, when I won, it became a big deal, and the rigged witch hunt headed by Strzok began. So I'm just reading some of the quotes from some of the tweets from our president. Sir, tweet a lot. Our relationship with Russia has never been worse, thanks to many years of U.S. foolishness, stupidity, and now the rigged witch hunt. Stories you heard about the 12 Russians yesterday took place during the Obama administration, not the Trump administration, Trump tweeted. They didn't do something about it, especially when it was reported that President Obama was informed by the FBI before the election. So again, why did it happen? Why wasn't anything done? Well, they never thought there would be any need to, because Hillary was a shoo-in. Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, longtime liberal, voted for Hillary, said that the indictments of the Russians, which are not U.S. citizens, proves that there is no need for a special counsel. The indictment could have been brought by ordinary prosecutors, ordinary FBI agents, Dershowitz said. There's no conflict here. It's Russians they are going after. There's no people around the president who are involved. Zero. So, of course, you have the lying jerk, old bag Clinton, says, this is her tweet, great World Cup. Question for President Trump as he meets Putin. Do you know which team you play for? Like anyone with a half a brain would understand that the Democrats are so further tied into the socialist communist system than the Republicans ever would be. So do you know what team to play for? I mean, that's because she plays for the other team, I mean, Hillary, I guess you forgot about Benghazi and Uranium One and sending secret information to other nations and having private email servers and losing laptops and all sorts of other stuff, So basically, it must suck to hijack your own party, steal a nomination, turn the DNC into like the money laundering machine it is, bury evidence against yourself, finance fake dossiers, swipe and steal debate questions, promise free everything, and still lose. And she loses to the person she feels is incompetent. What a joke. What a joke she is. And if you'd like to comment on it, feel differently about it, feel free to do so. Number again here is 800-699-0980. More than happy to take your calls and hear what you got to say. Let's go ahead, and there's another video I got here, and this is our illustrious President Obama. Hear what he has to say.
Of course the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean? The federal government doesn't run the election process. States and cities and communities all across the country, they're the ones who set up the voting systems and the voting booths. And if Mr. Trump is suggesting that there is a conspiracy theory that is being propagated across the country,
Liar.
including in places like Texas, where typically it's not Democrats who are in charge of voting booths, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense, and I don't think anybody would take that seriously.
Unfortunate truth is that the election wasn't rigged. He's right in that respect, but certainly the primaries, the Democratic primaries were. And Bernie Sanders was never going to be a nominee because Clinton would never allow it to occur. I mean, he was popular, I mean, young people liked him, shockingly enough, Grandpa Bernie, but that's how it went. So you have basically now, you could ask another question about all this is a lot of the media think that what a traitor he is. He prefers to listen to what Putin has to say rather than his own FBI. Well, look at them. Look at the FBI. Look what's happened to them. It's the frickin' Bureau of Idiots, or the Federal Bureau of Matters because we didn't investigate Clinton. It had to become a matter. And, you know, I mean, look at what they're doing. I mean, it's ridiculous. Suppose that, like, suppose that an acquaintance you know, someone you know, is part of an unsuccessful probe. The government's been trying to get them. You know the guy, but they haven't been able to really do anything. And the prosecutors would like you to go ahead and divulge something that's embarrassing. And you refuse, you know that no crimes were committed, nothing happened. So the prosecutor begins to dig into your life. And he thinks you're involved with the Chinese spy ring. Totally untrue. All sorts of nonsense. It could be involved with Russian collusion. But in this case, we're talking about just me and you or anyone else on the planet. And it's a Russian spy ring. Okay, completely untrue, of course. But you see, you do order a lot of Chinese food, and you didn't realize it, but that payway that you order from is owned basically by a Beijing-based corporation. And it has ties to their national government. And so the investigators know this because basically they've gone through all of your records, all of your phone conversations, all of your emails, and all of your credit card receipts. And they know basically that you've spent all of this. And so you're now going to have all of your records subpoenaed by this guy who wants you to talk about that acquaintance of yours who you know has done nothing at all. So the prosecutor says, we believe you are an unregistered foreign agent and you're providing assistance to China. Well, you tell the guy to go screw himself because you're a moron. Oop, now you're obstructing justice. Okay? Now you're obstructing justice, and now you face serious legal expenses and potential criminal charges. But the prosecutor tells you, you don't have to worry about any of that if you just turn the dirt out. And that's what's going on exactly with Trump. I mean, look at our justice system. You have these guys like Strzok and Lisa Page and McCabe and all these people who use their authority illegally, without any question of a doubt anymore. Without any question of a doubt. Now, you never hear this on CNN because it doesn't have to do with hating Trump. So this is like a non-entity story for them. They just, horses. This is how we think. This is what we're going to say. You ever notice that too, that every single news commentator uses the same phrases or catchphrases all of the time? It's like they get together and this is what they do. One of Trump's guys, I forget his name, I think Caputo, something like that. It cost him $125,000. But this is the state of our Justice Department. We have now in solitary confinement Paul Manafort, who's been convicted of nothing. Nothing. He is in solitary confinement in a prison. But you get people like McCabe and Clinton and Strzok. They're walking around free. They laugh at us because just like foreign countries used to think that we were a paper tiger. Now with Trump there, they're not so sure anymore. These people know that the Congress is a paper tiger because what Congress does best is nothing. That's what they specialize in, doing crap and nothing. They could do all sorts of stuff. They're not going to. It's just not going to happen. They're not going to. They're not going to do anything. Well, we're going to impeach Rod Rosenstein. So what? Who gives a crap? You think he gives a crap? Are you going to impeach him? Really? I mean, Rahm Emanuel, our former attorney general, was impeached. What happened to him? Oh, yes, now he runs the city of Chicago. Oh, what a horrible thing after being impeached and all. My, oh my, wasn't that terrible? Unbelievable. What people really do tend to forget quite often is that, Trump doesn't have any allies in media, and he obviously doesn't have any allies in FBI. Or in the intelligence community at all. That's just how it is right now. And when you're dealing with a liar like Obama, things can get, people forget very, very easily. I mean, it's funny that the left will say, well, we're not talking about Obama. Well, why not? Well, that happened years ago. Well, then I guess we should forget about Stormy Daniels, right? Certainly forget about the Confederacy and this flag stuff. That happened a long time ago. Let everyone be, right? No, let's be hypocrites and pick and choose, because that's what we do, and we don't really care. And to you if you think anything otherwise. There's just proof ad infinitum about how corrupt the FBI is in particular. And I'm sure CIA and all those other folks will go right behind it and do that. Here, let's see somebody lie.
Mr. President, when did you first learn that Hillary Clinton used an email system outside the U.S. government for official business while she was Secretary of State?
At the same time, everybody else learned it through news reports.
Speaking out on 60 Minutes about Hillary Clinton's email controversy.
Did you know about Hillary Clinton's use of private email server? No. While she was Secretary of State? No.
And meanwhile, the Obama administration was also featured in the report. Footnote, page 89, it reads, quote, President Barack Obama, he was one of 13 individuals with whom Clinton had direct contact using her ClintonMail.com account. That information breaks with Obama's initial claims that he learned of Clinton's private email from the media reports. What were they protecting? Remember, they changed that to say, oh, a high-ranking official.
So there you go, liar in chief. He knew about all this stuff. I don't know why one would think that he wouldn't. I learned it when you learned it in the media. I don't know, when the news report came out, that's when I know. Well, bullshit. He'd been going ahead and corresponding, one of the top 13 people with her on this illegal server. So he knew about that. You know, folks, people think this has to do with Clinton. It doesn't. I think it has to do with Obama. The reason such a big deal is being made is that people do not want the first black president to be convicted of crimes. It doesn't look good, you know. Too black to fail. So, since they do that and feel that way, you get kind of, the ability to lie becomes very, very easy. You know, there's all sorts of stuff with Obama that, to me, is kind of disgusting. And, let's see, there's one video here I'm looking for. I can't find it. Let me see. We got that. You didn't build that. We lied about that. I guess not. I guess not. Anyway, what people tend to forget and what people really need to start to realize and know is that the media hurts people. The media really can change people, and you can see that happening on certain college campuses right now. I mean, listen to this. It's unbelievable.
I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in New York City with the 4th of July coming up, talking to college students about whether they're proud to be an American. What will they have to say? Let's find out. Do you consider yourself today proud to be an American?
Oh boy, that's a tough question. No. No, not in the America we have right now. No, I'm not proud. No.
They have it too damn good.
American?
Definitely not.
No, I'm not proud of America. I'm not proud of what we've done.
There you go, the party of hate. Join them, the Democrats. If you hate the United States, that's the party you'd be in.
Especially, like, recently.
At the end of the day, I guess I would say no.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm proud.
We need to stop thinking that we're the best nation on earth, because that's just egotistical and it's not accurate.
We're pretty great.
Sure it is. That's why people come here. They're not going to Guatemala.
America, like, I don't want to associate myself with.
Patriotic views about America, when it really comes down to it, I feel like it's more just like a tool to be used to get people to join the army.
And what about America right now would you consider yourself not proud of?
I mean, I think the answer is pretty obvious. Just look at the news. There's a plethora of things that are going wrong. Orphan border issues.
Okay. Got it. So were you not proud when Obama did it 5 years ago?
I think that it's different now.
A lot of the not proud of being an American comes from, like, the history of the U.S.
Any places that come to mind that would be better?
Better than the U.S.? Probably some nice little socialist country in Europe.
If we change presidents, then I would be proud.
And there's an America that we can make that will be great. Yeah. And so I believe.
Are you saying make America great again?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, everything with the Supreme Court right now is, like, really scary. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
It's a little indoctrinated parents.
Were you concerned when President Obama filled the Supreme Court vacancies in the election year?
No.
In the past, were you proud to be an American, and what made you more proud then?
I guess it was just ignorance. I had no idea how many people in this country were so far right and discriminatory. And
I would, first of all, reverse everything Trump has done, every executive action. Yeah, I'd reverse everything he's done right now.
Okay. Would that crash the economy, though? I think it's going pretty well right now in the economy.
This is what you would reverse.
Those are, like, pretty longitudinal. I don't think anything beneficial has been his doing at all.
What could be done to make you proud of your country?
I'd like, people to be able to express their identities and be themselves without having to deal with prejudice and
go to your mommy's basement and lock yourself in a closet.
There could be. There are laws that could help with that.
I do consider myself proud to be American, but I'm ashamed of things that, like, our administration has done recently.
Today, would you consider yourself proud to be an American?
Yeah, I would consider myself proud to be an American.
Right now, are you proud to be an American?
Yeah, definitely. I always have been. I mean, I have the freedoms and possibilities to do, basically whatever I want. I think it's a really great country.
I kind of wish we could, get along a little bit more instead of becoming polarized on topics. Just being able to talk about them openly is something that I wish would happen more frequently. But I'd say overall, I'm proud, yeah.
And there you have it. The youth of America never had it so good. They're not discriminated against. What kind of discrimination these people come up against? You know what I mean? My heydays was the 60s and 70s. You want to talk about hate and, black folk not allowed into public pools and being shot down with pressure hoses. Those folks had it bad. These guys are jokes, just absolute jokes. The stuff that that particularly that one girl says she would want to reverse everything that Trump has done. Unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Let me just see. I'm kind of pissed that I didn't get this one video in because I think it would explain why maybe Donald Trump is, not that thrilled with the FBI. But I had some issues with finding videos earlier today. It's kind of weird. If anyone knows, you can go ahead and email me at michael@michaelblumshow.com. Why would a folder just disappear from your desktop? And if I go ahead and I do a search for the desktop, it says it's there, but the icon is gone and nothing is there anymore. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, I guess we won't get to that one video, but basically it was a video of Peter Strzok. Let me see if it's here somewhere. You didn't build that. College students. No, I guess it is here, but I don't think I can get it into this software right now because it's not going to find the desktop. But let me just see. We'll add and see what we can do just for a second. Right, just go ahead and bear with me for a moment. Videos. All right, now I'm not going to bother with this now. So anyway, you have to be reminded that Trump has helped this economy. He's added 213,000 jobs in June. Labor Department has upgraded the figures upwards by 37,000. 600,000 Americans re-entered the workforce in June. The economy is good. Wages are rising fast. Everyone on the sidelines wants to get back in the game. A record 155,576,000 Americans were employed in June. This is the most, by the way, in the history of the United States. Pay growth is up every month. Blue-collar working wages are the ones that are growing the fastest. Even disabled Americans are seeing a record job growth. A trade deficit actually just plunged, the most that it has in 10 years. U.S. exports rose to an all-time high. Trump is slowly but surely winning that trade war. Americans spent less on utilities because of the Trump tax cuts, and unemployment in the black community is the lowest it has ever been in the history of this country. So these are the things that they would like to roll back, those socialists, because this is just terrible. Because you see, you can't do anything for yourself. You haven't done anything for yourself. You never do. It's always the government that does that. I mean, taxes, we want your money. We want your money. You don't know what to do with your money. We know better how to spend your money because you've done nothing in your life without the government.
If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we had that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
Yeah, the help that I got from the government is an unwanted partner. They take 33% of everything I've ever made. That's their accomplishment here. They've never helped me at all. Whatever I've done, I've done. I'm an individual. There are no such things as great committees. There are only great individuals. And that's how it is. Sorry, Mr. Old President, you're done. You're done. You are history. You are old school, and you will never return. So anyway, folks, I'm going to stick to that. This is the Michael Blum Show. Thank you for listening to me, and we'll speak to you next time around. Take care. Have a good week. Oh, and by the way, everything in life is possible. Fewer things are probable. One thing is certain. You're alive. Go out and live life. Because tomorrow's promised to nobody.